Hello and welcome to another episode of Whether or Not. This show includes everything from bicycles to a slivery eclipse to British royalty. Also, Tom Bedard joins me here in the studio to let us know if another cold spell will be at our doorstep this weekend. All this plus nature in the news, trivia, and more. Whether or Not begins right now. Hi, and welcome to Whether or Not. I'm your host, Christy Shields.
And I'm your forecaster, Tom Bedard.
Tom, we've seen quite cold temperatures that happened this week.
Yeah, it was an unseasonably cold week for May. This past Monday, we actually saw a high temperature that was the coldest high temperature we've ever had of 48 degrees in State College, Pennsylvania.
And that is very chilly. The average for this time of the year is what, around in the 70s?
Yeah, in the lower 70s, and here we are barely even making it out of the 40s.
Well, Tom, you can tell us more about this cold weather we've seen in your forecast, but for right now, it's time for Nature in the News. National Bike to Work Week began this Monday and continues until this Friday, May 17th. It was reported in 2012 that the United States spent $112 billion stuck in morning and evening commute traffic jams. This broken down by commuter comes out to be $818 wasted annually. Biking not only saves gas, money, and pollutants being put into our atmosphere, but has many health benefits. Hopping onto a bike and pedaling to work helps commuters lose weight, control blood pressure, and insulin levels. Make sure to check the Federal Highway Administration website for some safety tips for cyclists. Print out a route on Google Maps, pull the bicycle out of the garage, and enjoy a refreshing spring morning cycling to work. And don't forget to take in the view.
On May 10th, an annular eclipse occurred between the orbits of the moon and the sun. This annular eclipse was only visible in Australia, Papua New Guinea, the Gilbert Islands, and the Solomon Islands. An annular eclipse is when the moon moves between the Earth and the sun. However, it does not completely block out the sun from the Earth, leaving a slim, shiny orange ring, which is called an annulus. The path that this eclipse took only spanned a 100-mile track. This occurred between 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here in the States and was shown live on spaceweather.com. The eclipse happened when the diameter of the sun was 400 times the moon's diameter, and also the sun's distance from the Earth is again around 400 times the moon's distance. This allowed the viewing from the Earth for the moon and sun to be almost about the same size, but leaving a sliver of a ring. Always remember when viewing any sort of eclipse to wear safety glasses and to not look directly at the sun.
Not only is it National Bike to Work Week, but on Friday, May 17th, Endangered Species Day is celebrated. Endangered Species Day was created by the United States Senate and is observed on the third Friday in May. It was created to show awareness to Americans how they can help protect endangered species and even plants in the United States. One animal that is being monitored but not yet on the endangered species list is the pika. The pika lives in the western states and looks somewhat of a hybrid between a rabbit and a hamster. This adorable little creature has been impacted by the climate's warmer temperatures. The pika likes moist, cool climates along mountain sides. 25 populations of pikas have been monitored by scientists since 1898, and by 2008, none of these populations were extinct. If temperature trends continue to stay warm, pika populations will continue to shrink.
British royalty made its way to the United States this week. Prince Harry traveled to 2 New Jersey beach towns that Superstorm Sandy had wreaked havoc in October. He visited with New Jersey's Governor Christy, and the motorcade filling with these two gentlemen visited Manalocking, New Jersey, as well as Seaside Heights, New Jersey. The prince shook hands with EMS, fire, and police personnel, as well as construction workers, and thanked them for their help during the storm, as well as with the restoration process taking place after the storm. Superstorm Sandy caused about $37 billion in damage to the state of New Jersey and damaged approximately 3,600,000 homes. Seaside Heights Boardwalk is 2/3 of the way complete with its restoration process. Tuesday also marked the first day of demolition to the famous roller coaster, the Jetstar, that fell off the pier and into the ocean during Superstorm Sandy. It is estimated to take 4 days to completely withdraw the ride from the ocean.
In the past year, the United States has seen the smallest amount of tornadoes in a 12-month period since 1954. Not only have there been fewer tornadoes, but death tolls have dropped since 2011. May 9, 2013 marked only 3 people have died this year from tornadoes, which is a drastic difference from 543 by this time of the year in 2011. In 2011, so many people died due to several tornado outbreaks. According to AccuWeather meteorologist Alex Sosnowski, the reason for this low tornado count is from a cool weather pattern that extends from the Rocky Mountains to the East Coast. He comments, generally, the lower the temperature and or the drier the air, the lower number of thunderstorms. This pattern should continue into the beginning of the summer season, keeping tornadoes from forming. Tom's forecast is up next to see if this lack of severe weather will actually continue.
Thanks, Christy. And the weather this coming weekend is really just going to be the tale of these two systems. Now, pay attention to these and where they are right now. And these two systems are the system of high pressure, center of high pressure, and a stationary front that's going to be to our south. Now, on Thursday, this stationary front passed through, or this cold front, rather, passed through the area. And hot on its tails was the center of high pressure. Take a look at the arrows moving around this high pressure. That's the movement of air around the system. And it's going to be pushing dry air in from the Canadian provinces. It's going to allow us to remain sunny for most of Friday. Now, south of the stationary front is stormy weather, moist, very unstable air. And we're not going to tap into any of that air on Saturday since this high is just going to move a tidbit to the east, and that's going to allow the flow to remain still from an area that's going to be bringing in drier air and drier, cooler air at that. Now, the area below the stationary front is still unstable, but we're not going to tap into that instability until Sunday when the high pressure moves farther to the east and allows the wind to shift up a little from the south. And when it does so, it's going to tap into this moisture, into this instability, and move it farther towards central Pennsylvania. Now, how this works into the forecast, let's start at the beginning again. Friday, high pressure is going to be predominant. 73 degrees, more clouds than sun. Fantastic day. And as we get towards Friday night, it'll be pleasant, but we'll start to see instability come into the area towards Saturday afternoon with a stray thunder shower possible. Still warm at 75 degrees, but clouds are going to start to increase, and they'll increase into Saturday night. We'll introduce the chance of a couple showers that are going to be around the area, and it'll be mostly cloudy. We'll start to see those cloudy skies vary a little with some sun peeking through and some afternoon thunderstorms on Sunday, some of which might be severe. It'll be warm, there'll be instability around in the atmosphere, so stay tuned to the National Weather Service just in case any watches or warnings are posted.
Drown your campfires with water. Make sure it's totally wet. Then stir and drown again.
We know we can count on you to do what Sophie says.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
We've all grown up with them, and it's popular saying that only you can prevent forest fires. But sometimes starting fires is necessary to improve the environment and provide us with more protection from future wildfires.
All across the nation, trained individuals perform prescribed fires, also known as controlled fires. A controlled fire is simply an intentional fire in a forested area to restore native landscapes and manage vegetation. Controlled fires accomplish many things, including managing invasive species, stimulating growth of a desirable vegetation, and eliminating brush that could be fuel in the event of an uncontrolled forest fire. The Bureau of Forestry, under the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, or DCNR, is responsible for protecting the Commonwealth's 17 million acres of public and private wildlands from damage by wildfire. More and more people are moving into rural areas to be located near or within forest, a zone where homes and developments clash and intermingle with undeveloped wildland. An area so called by the DCNR as the wildland-urban interface. The last of the three main accomplishments by prescribed fires, the elimination of brush that could be future fuel, could be the most important benefit as these population centers spring up across the countryside.
Just this past Monday, in our very own backyards, the Penn State Arboretum carried out its own miniature version of a prescribed burn. About 5 acres between Big Hollow and Tower Roads were set ablaze just a stone's throw from several buildings. Professor of Forest Biology and Director of the Arboretum, Mr.
Tim Steiner, said the fuel load was light and the fire was not significant in duration, but this controlled burn was very important. It may come as a surprise, but our greatest danger of wildfires is in the spring months of March, April, and May, not summer. And 98% of our wildfires are caused by people burning trash, catching nearby brush on fire. To learn more about the benefits of prescribed fires, visit the DCNR website at the bottom of your screen or click on the link provided by our website. Tom is up next with a recap of your forecast.
Thanks, Travis. And the weekend doesn't look great, though. It starts off with a fantastic story on Friday. That cold front moves through on Thursday and introduces warmer, drier air on Friday. 73 degrees, that's 2 above our average this time of the year, which is 71. Beautiful day, mostly sunny, just a great day compared to Saturday. We'll start to see some clouds move into the area on Saturday, and we can't rule out the chance, and the icon's in there, for maybe an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. We'll get up to about 75 degrees. Warmer on Saturday, even though clouds will move into the area. They'll move in towards the afternoon and the evening. That's why Sunday morning we're not going to be too cool. 56 degrees, and it will probably feel a little muggy outside, but only a little bit. Some more clouds sticking around the area, and the chance, or a better chance, of an afternoon thunderstorm, only getting up to about 73 degrees because we'll have cloud cover in the area, and if we get near rain, that's going to help keep our temperature low. Now we're going to keep the chance of rain in the forecast through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Good chance of some severe storms Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, as well as comes with any chance of a thunderstorm. So if you are out enjoying the warm weather, which we'll see those first 3 days, make sure you keep your eye tuned to the National Weather Service website, turn on your NOAA weather radio, or I'd suggest Googling INWS and signing up for email or text message alerts to alert you of any severe weather. Wednesday will be our best chance to see a thunderstorm. Thursday and Friday, we'll see that chance almost completely eliminated. To think about the weather for Thursday and Friday, think back to last Sunday when we had cool air and low clouds and breezy conditions. That's what you can expect for Thursday and Friday. Cooler than average, and the question remains, do May showers bring June flowers?
Well, Tom, those temperatures look like they're going to be going back to the cold area next week and below average.
That cold is definitely a relative word here. We're seeing about in the lower to mid 60s as we get towards the end of next week, which is only about 10 degrees off the average from what we're used to this time of the year. It's not what we want to see if we're hoping for a summer vacation at Penn State, but it's not too bad.
Well, that brings us to our weather whiz quiz, because we did see those colder temperatures this past week, which our quiz states Tuesday morning the low temperature was 2 degrees off of setting a record. What was Tuesday's low? A, 35 degrees, B, 30 degrees, C, 32 degrees, or D, 46 degrees? And the answer was 32 degrees.
32 degrees. Now that was a special pattern that we had set up, and sometimes those are common in May. We've seen them across the United States in different years, but this pattern that we have at the end of next week will not bring us low temperatures towards the freezing mark like we saw at the beginning of this past week.
Well, that certainly makes me happy, because I'm looking forward to spring-like temperatures, because those temperatures this past week were more like winter. Well, that about wraps it up for us here at Weather or Not. I'm your host, Christy Shields.
And I'm your forecaster, Tom Bedard.
And make sure to tune in next week to see a feature on construction and how the weather can affect it. For now, we'll see you next time.